Hey, how's it going? This is Tom from Suburban Helltapes. I'm here with Utopian Voids for a little interview with No Exits. We have Colin and Paul here. Nice to meet you guys. How you doing tonight?
Hey, nice to meet you, Tom. Just chilling, enjoying the wildlife out here.
I checked out your Bandcamp. I saw you have a few singles and a couple EPs on there too. What's coming up next for you guys?
So we've got an EP we put out a couple years ago, and a single we put out a little bit more recently. We got some new tracks that are cooking up right now. No plan on a release right now. Probably gonna maybe focus on having it as a new EP. But I don't know. We've got a huge catalog of shit we've never finished or released too. So who knows?
So there could be something longer in the works coming.
Yeah, I mean, we probably have like a whole nother band's worth of stuff that's never gonna face, it's never gonna come out and be shown to the world. Probably stuff that that maybe we can release when we're famous or something, but we're not holding our breath on that or nothing. So
Studio sessions, the archives, the early years.
Yeah, the rare, the BB, like the
deep cuts.
Deep cuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of deep cuts, I wanted to ask: you guys involved in a band, Cold Metal?
Yeah, I mean that's my past as well. Interesting. That's like a very, very deep cut because that's something that in my days living in Portland, Oregon for a moment. Very gloomy, very appropriate music for that kind of weather. I think at the time that band was forged on depression, alcohol, and sadness. Well, I guess sadness is part of depression, and then alcohol follows depression too, or then takes you in the cycle of depression. I'll just leave it at that right now, but yeah.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you lived in Portland because I saw that the label that one was put out on was Black Circle Records out in Portland, and I'm a big fan of Portland personally. You have a favorite record store in Portland?
Oh, I don't even know if it's there anymore, to be honest.
There's quite a few. I like Tomorrow Records in Portland.
Oh, that's still there?
Yeah, Tomorrow. That one's
yeah,
great.
Yeah, that's a good store. Yeah,
Tomorrow's really good. There's a few. Little Axe in Portland. That one's cool. There's so many good ones in Portland. That's pretty much what I do every time I go there. Just go to record stores and eat.
Seriously, it's eating. Well, it's like eating, and then when I was living in Portland, there were really, really cool shows. You would just go to a random warehouse and you would see Glass Candy, Johnny Jewel would be doing something, or you would hear a no wave band and all that good stuff. The heyday of Portland, basically during post recession time in the 2000s. People were broke. They were overeducated and overcaffeinated and hyped up. They wanted to hear some, angry, no-wave music.
Yeah, broke, overeducated, and overcaffeinated sounds like a good combination to make some art or music. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we were just a touch of depression, I guess. But I think those all go together. Manic episodes.
Absolutely. So when did you come back to SoCal or this area?
I actually ended up down in the Bay Area before I ended up down in SoCal. And Colin kind of took a similar journey with me. We're actually originally from the East Coast, and he ended up in San Francisco and then down in SoCal. But I didn't meet Colin until SoCal. But yeah, the Bay Area had a lot of cool stuff back in the day too, like bands like Numbers and things like that. Really rad stuff actually.
This might be a controversial question, but when it comes to Bay Area music scene and Portland, and then SoCal, LA, IE, do you have a favorite music scene out of those three?
It's more about the time period. If you can go in a time machine, San Francisco right now, I don't know, man. It's just all a bunch of, people that were oh yeah, remember the good old days, or they're super rich right now and they don't even know anything. So I wouldn't want to go there to the Bay Area now. And Portland's kind of I feel I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know what it's like now. But in the heyday, both cities were pretty, they were rivaling. You had a lot of good underground shows. You had art and culture. People would have house shows in the Mission in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like something that just doesn't happen anymore. So I'm gonna say I would like to take a time machine, maybe at least 15 years ago to either city.
It's not just about being in the right place. It's about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you could say that about New York. You could say that about DC. All those places too have had different periods of awesome stuff.
Do you have any thoughts on the current post-COVID time period we're in as being some kind of resurgence of local scene? I've personally noticed there's a lot more shows right now. I've seen a lot more shows being put together, house shows and at venues. I feel we're kind of past the everything shutting down and nobody going outside?
I live in Boyle Heights, and yeah, there's like an awesome, resurgence of, kind of young people getting out and like putting on shows and like putting on awesome shows. I was pretty close to the Paramount, and that place is just like always packed, with like a line around the door, which definitely wasn't there, a couple years ago. So, it's awesome to sort of see everything back into full swing.
I'm in Pomona, so it felt like since the pandemic has kind of gotten to a place now where people are not afraid to just go out and be themselves and just, put on some cool things. Actually, Utopian Voids was introduced to me like post the pandemic and the COVID times, and I think that just seeing that, like the energy that some of those shows have brought, like really make me feel like we're getting back into the groove. Like our last show before the pandemic was actually in 2020, right before the shutdown, and then literally like the energy and like people having to like resort to doing like Twitch videos and all that kind of stuff. Like I know that's like everybody's minds like still there, but like I was like, I don't know if we're ever going to go back to like having rad shows again. So I'm glad that people are out there, and now we're heading into the new year. I look forward to like seeing some cool stuff, getting back out there and like putting out some new stuff and seeing how that goes.
I got another deep cut question here. Are one of you guys a software developer?
Guilty. Yeah.
Cool. I heard you do mobile software development.
But maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
No, I work in audio software.
Oh,
actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Dustin mentioned something, but yeah, I also.
I just find bugs.
Oh, so you're a QA guy.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, QA is still part of the development team.
I guess the short answer is he actually makes stuff, and I try to break stuff and also find stuff that's broken. But I'm not like a builder. He's the guy that does that. He makes all the magic.
I was just curious because that's also the field I'm working in. I feel like software devs, a lot of times they always have some creative project going on that they like put most of their time towards outside of work. Do you spend a lot of time using software development as a hobby? Is it something that you're really interested in?
No, I pretty much clock in and out. I actually have a really hard time listening to music when I work too, especially music with like vocals.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I have to have ambient or instrumental or like
drone
drone
I can
or
put
something.
on some like dub techno or something and just kind of chill out to it. But anything, if someone's singing, like I just can't focus.
Yeah. All right. So I've been delving into your personal life and your past. You guys want to talk about anything else? Anything you guys want to bring up today for discussion?
Yeah, I'm going to turn this around on you, man.
Oh boy.
What's the first concert that changed your opinion about music?
A first concert I can remember going to, and I knew I loved going to concerts, was seeing ZZ Top with my dad. And it was like one of those like stadium shows. I think it was like OC County Fair or something. Just being in a sweaty crowd of people and like hearing loud music, something about that, you just can't beat it, You just can't beat being in a mass of sweaty people and having your eardrums blown out and having your chest rattle from the bass. I don't know. I can't get that satisfaction anywhere else other than being at a concert.
I totally feel you on the going to the concert with the dad vibes. I think that's like, foundational experience that like really sets the tone for you to, think about your future and like, what you want to do. Not that you're doing ZZ Top, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. You got to start with the classics.
Yeah, for me it was The Who.
Oh, nice. Yeah. One of the other ones I went to early on was like Roger Waters' The Wall tour, and like that's like a whole nother level where they add like a kind of like stage elements or like like puppets, and like it's like almost like a whole drama going on the stage. Some of those big budget shows that are like a big stadium shows, sometimes they can really pull off like a cool, awesome, like blow your mind kind of experience. But I find nowadays I love the small shows. I love the small and intimate shows. I like bars and house shows.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not saying that I wouldn't be opposed to going to like a big arena if someone was like, hey, come, but I'm not going to seek that out usually.
I think the happy medium is like the big outdoor show because it's always like a better vibe just kind of being outside. I just went and saw System of a Down this year, like in Golden Gate Park outside, and like it was probably the most like engaging big show I've been to in a while, where it's not just like some giant legacy band, playing the hits on a stadium that you're 10,000 feet away from. Yeah. It was very much like whole audience was into it. It was great being outdoors.
Was the crowd moving? Was good pits?
crowd was moving.
Yeah. You know, it's a good pits when you come back sore, like you have like some injuries that are going to last a few years, you know, from shoulder ramming into people or like falling over.
Oh, I'm old, so I just shook my head a couple times and I was sore, you know, the rest of the week.
Favorite food in this area? Like favorite place to go eat?
I'm going to shout out Milpa in Boyle Heights, best breakfast burritos in all of LA.
See, I'm from the East Coast, so I'm always trying to find pizza. So that's my problem. Like people are always like, where do you like to go and this and that? And that's usually ends up in a lot of dead ends.
Hear that? Desano's?
Desano's in Hollywood.
East Hollywood.
Neapolitan. It's probably like the best pizza in all of LA.
Okay. That's a bold claim.
I mean, depends on what kind of pizza you want, you know? Like what's your favorite type of pizza?
I lived in Chicago for a year, so I've had both styles of Chicago pizza. The deep dish, which is like that they call the tourist Chicago pizza, but then there's a real Chicago style pizza, which is tavern style.
Have you had Masa in Echo Park?
No, I haven't been there yet.
Okay, it's like deep dish Chicago style. It's pretty good.
Sure. Thanks so much, guys. A pleasure talking to you. And yeah, what you got coming up?
So we got a sick Utopian Voids show coming up on January 11th. Going to debut a little bit of new music that we've been working on, so definitely come check it out. Colin and I, we have a little bit of a different setup now. Colin's on drums, so like electronic drums, so it should be pretty cool.
Just come and buy some drinks. That's how we get paid. This is Tom, Suburban Helltapes, out here for Utopian Voids. Lovely chat with no exits, and I think we're going to be exiting. It's back to you.
We'll be right back.